Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Rockies Now podcast. We, of course, are a podcast for the Colorado Rockies. I am one of your co hosts, Tom, and I'm joined by one of our other co hosts, Sarah. Sarah, how are you today?
Doing great. It's been a great day. We're a week away. One more week, and baseball is back
We are
officially.
correct, 7 days from our opening day, 6 days, of course, from the official opening game, which, of course, as we know, is Wednesday, March 25th, between the New York Yankees and the San Francisco Giants. That game, of course, will be broadcasted for the first time ever on Netflix. So, for the many people who still have your Netflix subscription, be sure that you have it or sign up for the free trial one way or the other. You're going to be watching in, like as we were talking about in the pre-show, I'm a little interested to see what the presentation is like, what some of the, if they change some of the camera angles, what the graphics look like. Of course, it's going to be a whole new team, which, as they announced this morning, Barry Bonds is going to be part of the desk team, part of the pre and post game show. So that'll be interesting. They did, of course, release the other official people like that are going to be there. Like Albert Pujols will be there. I think Hunter Pence is also going to be there. So yeah, I'm interested to see how this new setup with Netflix works. This won't be their only game. But yeah, so and then of course that'll be the only game on Wednesday, and the following day everybody else plays. Friday's a day off, and then the season resumes on Saturday. But we'll get into all that a little bit later. First, we're going to talk about, of course, everybody knows the World Baseball Classic for 2026 did wrap up. The Team Venezuela, they weren't one of the favorites. They obviously probably were somewhere up there in like the middle of the pack, maybe towards. If I had to split the teams in two halves, bottom half and top half, I would put Venezuela in the top half. They had quite a run. They didn't lead in too many offensive categories or pitching categories, but they definitely got timely hitting. They beat the U.S. with the score of 3-2. Bryce Harper, of course, with the big home run in the eighth inning, tied it up. That was awesome. And also, as we'll get to some other crazy stat I talked about in a minute, but Sarah, of course, as we know, Eugenio Suarez took the lead back. The U.S. loses. We were runner-up for the second straight year. We did win back pre-COVID in 2017, which, of course, as we know, we had some exciting moments, such as the Adam Jones crazy catch in right center field. But anyway, I'm going to stop babbling. Sarah, what did you think of the final game between the U.S. and Venezuela?
Um, Definitely pitcher's duel. I mean, you can't expect to win off of 3 hits when two of them are coming from one guy. Um, that's just not going to win you the game. But Venezuela was really, to me, they were really impressive throughout. I thought surely when they had to go up against Japan, that was going to be it for them. And they definitely proved me wrong. But I mean, I kind of looked at it, of course, I was rooting for our country. But at the same time, how can we lose when we've got Tovar on Venezuela just balling out for everybody and getting the attention that I feel, and I think a lot of Rockies fans probably feel that he so deserves throughout that series.
Well, he did make the final catch in the semifinals to send them to the Classic. And as we talked in the pre-show meeting, there was a graphic put up of the starting 9 players, or actually say 10, excuse me, including the DH, in the WBC. Bryce Harper was the only one. Again, Team USA had 3 hits. One came off the bench. Bryce Harper was the only one of the original starting 10 to get a hit. He had 2 hits, including the big home run in the 8th inning. It goes to show you, and so, you don't come if you're, I guess you could say, of course, big time players rise to the occasion. Bryce Harper has done that in the past, i.e., 2022 World Series, NLCS against the Padres to send the Phillies to the World Series. But especially, I mean, I don't want to pick on anybody, but the captain, Judge, once again on the biggest stage, he does not show up. And like I said, somebody put up a graphic. Since he was named captain of the Yankees, he has missed the playoffs, lost in the World Series, lost in the ALDS, and now lost in the WBC. So, the Judge himself is struggling on the biggest stage, on the bigger stages, we should say.
Yeah, I mean, if your captain's not showing up, you're not going to get the win. But I did notice, I did see the all tournament team list, and Ezekiel Tovar was the all tournament team shortstop. So, again, not really I don't think really Rockies fans had a lot they could complain about throughout this entire tournament. That they were represented really well. Everybody had really good showings. Of course, Michael Lorenzen in that last game for Italy did struggle coming out of the pen there. But outside of that, lot of really good performances.
Yeah, to highlight Tovar, his slash line in 6 games with 17 at bats. He didn't have any home runs. He didn't have any RBIs. He did strong walk, but he batted 471 with a 500 on base percentage. He slugged 674. Or sorry, 647. Excuse me. He had 3 doubles. Again, no home runs. But like I said, his value was defensive, and as you point out, he was on the All WBC team. He had a good performance. You can't knock the guy. I mean, he did what he needed to do. He was not batting in the top of the lineup pretty much per se. So he was not going to be one of the guys to be counted to be big run producers, but still he got the job done when he was asked upon. And, unfortunately to the flip side, there were several Rockies that did do well and some that did struggle. I'm not going to name anybody a guy here who struggled, but all in all,
one specifically.
I don't want to single him out. His team had a nice run in pool play, but they didn't advance. So I'm not going to give him shade. I don't want to be too mean to the guy. It's just nice to play on that stage for your designated country. And of course, baseball is not right at the moment an Olympic sport, but still, this is bigger than the Olympics. And of course, the ratings for the finals game were very nice. I think the final was just under 11 million people watched.
Yeah, great ratings.
So that's good. Again, probably would have been some more with the country of Japan if Japan made it back to the finals, but they got upset, which anybody can. So that's the story. I mean, if you get hot at the right time, you go for it. And I just hope that Tovar can carry this into the season for us.
He is still wearing his jersey as of today. He said they asked if he'd taken it off. He said no. And if they would let him, he would keep wearing it. So he was taking batting practice in his jersey today. He said he's had it on since Tuesday. I can't blame the guy. I mean, he had a great run and just really, really happy for him.
I wonder if Antonio Senzatella is going to pitch off the mound with it during the last couple of days.
I guess we'll see.
Well,
I don't know. It didn't go so well for him, but
he still can say he was a part of a championship team there.
Yes.
So no one can take that from him. Whether or not he gets a World Series ring in the remainder of his career, we'll wait and see for the guy. But he can say he's a WBC champion, and that, of course, is something to go on his resume for the rest of his life. So yeah, and of course, overall, Team Venezuela, as I mentioned, they didn't lead in too many offensive categories, but as a team in 7 games, they batted 261, an on-base percentage of 335, and a slug of 440. So not bad. That's honestly, kind of equal to what the United States had. So they had 10 home runs. They did pretty well as a team. They drew 27 walks, which wasn't too bad. They were one of the more active teams on the bases with 9 stolen bases. The Chinese Taipei had 10, led with 10. So, I mean, Venezuela, they put up a decent fight. And again, they're the winners. So we'll see how this plays out in 3 years. And somebody also put out a graphic of they wish Trout was playing in this game, but I'm not sure if they asked Mike Trout about Team USA. It was cool when he carried out the flag 3 years ago. Him and Shohei, of course, were teammates at the time. And then, of course, you got to love the ending of that game in the final matchup between the two of them. But we'll see where this happens in 3 years. So,
yeah. I would have loved to have seen Mike Trout back out there again. I know it seemed like a lot of players were having issues with insurance going into this. And I don't know. I never did hear exactly why Mike Trout declined. I don't know if that had anything to do with it or not, but I know that was an issue for a lot of players. And a lot of teams just said, we don't want our guys going back out there. Jose Altuve was one of those. The Astros wouldn't let him after that injury he had last time. So, it really, people are kind of at the mercy of their team as far as whether or not they get to actually do this. And I mean, USA put a good team together. They just did not execute when it really mattered. So
I know for a fact that the Dodgers were not going to let Edwin Diaz pitch in this. And for those who don't remember, he was celebrating a win with his team, which was Puerto Rico. And he had pitched for Puerto Rico, and he jumped up for joy, and he landed on his leg wrong, tore his ACL accidentally, and there he was out for the season. So I was fairly certain he was not going to be pitching in this. I'm not sure if they asked Mike Trout. I would like to know if they did or did not. I'm not sure they'll even tell us that. But I guess it's discretionary, however you want it to. I mean, Pete Alonso was the first baseman 3 years ago. This year was Bryce Harper. I don't know. Well, all in all, we'll wait to see how things turn out in a couple of years. So, again, before we get to that, we have the CBA negotiation to worry about.
Yeah.
But we're trying to avoid that conversation for the time being because we don't want it. We want to try and keep things a little bit more positive right now. So
we'll wait until we have to talk about that.
Which could be the chatter is going to start again. The chatter is kind of quieted a little bit. The only big thing going around is, of course, Tony Clark resigning from as head of the players union. But I'm sure chatter will start picking up once this. Probably, I'm guessing mid-season things are going to start to pick up. Maybe even June is my guess. But gotta wait and see. Okay, into other news, Rockies fans, we now have some updates on the roster. There was today, as you mentioned earlier, a couple of days ago, Adele Amador and Tanner Gordon were sent down to minor league camp. They'll be in AAA to start the season. And today, Cole Keurig, Charlie Condon, and Vinmile Machine were reassigned to minor league camp. So at this point, the Rockies have 40 active players currently in Major League camp, 7 of which are non-roster invitees. But the big story is TJ Rumfield is still there. And I would say all signs are pointing to him to making the opening day roster and most likely being there at first base on opening day. So, Sarah, what do you think? I
agree 100%. I think Rockies fans, that's your first baseman. That's the answer to your question. Is it's TJ Rumfield. Blaine Crim, feel bad for the guy because that oblique injury has just kept him sidelined this entire time. But TJ has absolutely gone out and won that spot. I mean, his performance speaks for itself. He has earned it 100%. And I know a lot of people were, with Charlie Condon's performance in spring training, a lot of people were saying, well, what about Charlie Condon? There's zero reason to rush Charlie Condon's development. He's doing great so far, but we've got TJ Rumfield, and there's just really no reason to push to get Charlie up there any sooner than is necessary. And I know it's something we've talked about before. There wouldn't be an everyday spot for him at this point in time. So why do that to him? Let him be down in the minor leagues where he's going to get the work in, where he's going to get the reps in. Let him keep developing down there, and then we just kind of take it from there with him and see what happens next year. I wouldn't be surprised with an injury if we see Charlie at some point in time this season, but unless there's an everyday spot, he's not coming up.
No, the point is at this point, he hasn't played in Albuquerque yet, so there was no reason to even consider him for the opening day rosters.
He's going to go off in Albuquerque. I just have a feeling.
First you got to go. It's like the sea level thing. It's like above sea level. First you're at sea level, then you go to Albuquerque, then you go to Denver kind of thing. You're working your way up in terms of going to rising above sea level. So that's one way I see it. So again, people in the comments are talking about this, like, for example, Uncle Ted Rake let him platoon. That's not the good thing to do. Again, we're not going to rush any developments here. Charlie Condon, he has, like, as we just said, he has not played in Albuquerque yet. There's no reason to even make him jump from Hartford to the big leagues in Denver. He is going to go down, get every day at bats, learn a lot more, gain some more experience, especially as Sarah just mentioned, playing at Albuquerque at not fully above, all the way a mile above sea level, but he's still above sea level to the point where he needs to learn these kinds of things. And again, he needs to see AAA pitching before he heads to the big leagues to see big leagues arm on a daily basis. He's not ready for that. But that's only, I got another comment here from Tom, not this Tom, a different Tom, talking about how both were sent down. I'm not sure who you're referring to that, but if you're referring to both Amador and Gordon, it was just a decision that they made. I think, Sarah, did either of us have Gordon on our opening day roster predictions when we made those? I don't think none of us
I did.
You did?
I did. I thought Gordon over Feltner, and then not more than a couple hours after they made that move, Feltner just really, really, really struggled that day, which he kind of has been. He's walking a lot of guys, and I just don't feel like Feltner has earned that spot. I feel like Tanner Gordon has earned it a lot more. That one did surprise me. The rest of these moves, I get it.
Well, this Tom, our Tom viewer agrees with you. Tanner got definitely did
got
not
the nails.
Got the yes. I don't want to say it on camera. Got the nail or the short end of the stick. But again, we're not there every day. We don't know what's going on. So he's either way. Just because he's crushing lefties does not mean he should be a platoon player. He's not. When we call certain guys up like Charlie Condon, he's not meant to be a platoon player. He's meant to be an everyday guy, and he's not going to come up unless A, we believe he's ready to play every day, and B, there's everyday at bats available. If Rumfield is in fact going to be the opening day first baseman, and Jordan Beck is the left fielder, there's no spot for Condon because I don't know what your opinion. I don't know if Condon's going to be an everyday third baseman. I mean, what do you think? They're training him as like a first baseman left fielder from what I'm seeing.
They're really building a lot of versatility into him, which is a really good thing. Because that does open up a lot more flexibility when he does come up to be able to play every day if they've got an injury spot open or something like that going on. To me, it looks like they're thinking, I mean, I don't know, it's kind of hard to say because he did get a lot of outfield time. Whether they're just trying to develop that right now or what, I'm really not sure, but I just think I think they want to. We've seen this happen a lot over the last few years where you've got guys that are performing really well in the minors. They're doing great in spring training. But when they're coming up, when they're getting the call, it's not there. Like spring training is a lot different than what you're seeing because you've got guys that are trying to work on things. You've got pitchers that are trying to work on different pitches, new pitches, developing their mix. They're throwing up a lot more meatballs than they are in the regular season. These guys are locked in once the season starts. And that could be a completely different picture for Charlie once we get to that point. So that's really my biggest thing is they don't, when I say they don't want to rush him, I mean, we've seen a lot of guys come up and get sent back pretty quickly. Zach Veem being one of them. I don't feel like he was ready at that time, but who else were you going to call up? It was just bring up anybody and everybody until something stuck last year, and it never did. And I don't want to see them do that to any of these guys. Carrig, Condon, I don't want to see that happen with them because that can really just Jan Keel. Yeah, that's another one that it just didn't. He wasn't ready yet, and it's so exciting to see them in spring training doing this stuff. But again, spring training is not the same thing as a regular season.
Correct. And another one, Cole Keurig, he has not played in AAA either. So he's not skipping from AA to the big leagues. So that was no surprise as to why he was sent down. Again, they're not, especially the top tier guys, they're not going to rush these guys because you pointed out, if you hit 600, I'm just throwing a number here. If you hit 600 in spring training, that means nothing. That means zero indication as far as how you're going to do in the season. I'll give you an example. I mean, for the Chicago White Sox, I love this guy, but this is just for example versus Adam Engel. He hit over 500 in spring training in 2019. He comes up, he struggles in the first month and a half. They send him back down to AAA. He comes back after the All-Star break and does much better. So the point I'm trying to make is, again, to your point, pitchers are not trying to pitch for strike. And some of them are just working on sequencing, narrowing down their mechanics, working on their spots, just basically shaking the rust off at this point. They're not pitching full speed just yet. If a guy can throw triple digits, he's not throwing triple digits right off the bat. He's working, he's building up to that, or he's building up to pitch 6 innings. Like it was crazy that Logan Webb pitched 4 2/3 in the one game for the United States, but I guess he's ready to go. And that's what all these pitchers starters are trying to build up for. They're just preparing for the season. I mean, I've heard instances where a pitcher will go out and during his 1 inning of appearance, he throws all sliders. That's happened before because they just want to focus on that pitch that day and kind of hone in on just also not just the landing spot for your stride foot, but also the release work. Because again, you have to release it and spin the ball on top at a certain point and let the fingers flick off. So again, zero indicators to how anybody's going to do. So it's the right decision in my eyes.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the team last year in spring training, it was hard not to get really excited, and then look what happened during the season. The spring training mojo they had going was nowhere to be found anywhere. So it's just, like we've been having a lot of fun watching what's been happening in spring training, but at the end of the day, it doesn't mean anything once game 1 hits.
When game 1 does hit, that's when all bets are off. But yeah, the point is they're trying to groom Keurig Keurig and Condon to be everyday players. They're not going to be platoon players. And plus also they're not skipping a critical level of development. Especially if you're a pitcher, I wouldn't advise anybody to skip AAA. The same thing is happening on other teams too. Why are guys just not, I'll give you like for Team Italy, Sam Antonelli, he's a top White Sox prospect. He was from both levels of single A to double A last year. He's not skipping AAA. So again, you don't want to skip that critical level development, especially if you want that guy to, even if you want that player ends up being a bench player for your team, you still want to skip the full levels of development. So even though the gap that I've heard from the big leagues to double A is narrowing a little bit in terms of the competition level, still you don't want to skip another way, especially if that player has only played one or maybe half of a season in the minor leagues. You still want to get him used to big league, but also pro baseball life.
Yeah.
So anyway, also, didn't you say also we got an update on RJ Pettit as well?
Yeah, RJ Pettit has a UCL strain. So exploring options, seeing what's going to happen there. From what I have heard, he will likely start the season on the 60-day IL, and then we'll see what's going on. So that does not mean that the Rockies have to give him back, but once he comes off of the IL, he will have to be on the roster or he will be returned. So
we don't have to make the decision right now.
Yeah, we've got a little time to wait on that. And for the many people, if you are anything like me, speaking of injury updates, I was scouring the internet for what was going on with Zach Veen. He was under the weather, and he also has I had seen that it was a contusion. I don't know that part was accurate, but he is progressing back up to getting on the field. So hopefully we'll see Zach again here shortly.
Yeah, all I can find, just like to back up what you just said, all I can find is a knee injury / contusion. That's all I can find. As we joked in the pre-show meeting, I'm surprised. It's a good thing he has not pulled any part of his arm or his pectoral muscle from reaching back with that newfound built body that he has.
Knee just couldn't handle all that weight.
I don't know. I'm sure it's like the joke goes, you don't want to skip leg day. So I would hope he
didn't skip leg day. You can tell by looking at him.
No. But I don't that you're right about that. But the truth is, if you build up that upper body, you gotta make sure you build that lower body to carry that extra weight. So.
And it sounds like with it being a contusion, it sounds like he got hit by something. I don't remember seeing that.
He didn't get hit by a pitch he didn't get hit by a pitch in a game though.
No, he didn't. A contusion is a soft tissue injury. It's like a really bad bruise, basically, is what a contusion is. So it sounds like he got hit by something or something happened there, but hopefully that's something that will be resolved. He's been out for over a week, so I would think we'll start seeing him maybe in this last week before things get going. I kind of feel like that probably killed any chance of him being on the 26th man, but I think we'll see him again this season.
I think he'll start the season in Albuquerque when he's healthy to play. And besides, who knows? We'll see that what is it? Isn't it Sam Hilliard owns the record for most home runs in Albuquerque in Isotopes history?
Yes.
It's still him.
Sam.
Maybe, just maybe, I'm just spitballing here. Maybe if Veen spends a lot of time there, maybe he could chase Sam's record.
He'd have to be there for a while, I think.
Do you know off the top of your head what the record is though? I can't remember what it is. I'm sorry.
I can find out real fast.
Yeah, sure. It's just for the folks who know. I think it was last season. Sam Hilliard, who is now, I think, if I remember correctly, he is playing he officially got signed to the KBO. What is it?
Yeah, he's in the KBO.
Oh Jesus, I know. When I saw that, I'm glad that I was bummed that he's no longer in playing in Major League Baseball, majors or minors. But the fact that he's still getting an opportunity in the KBO, it's good. So maybe he'll be like an Eric Fetty or an Anthony Kay that does well over there, comes back for one last hurrah in the major leagues.
Sam's record is 67 home runs.
That's
a lot, but
Sam
has also spent a lot of time in Albuquerque.
I was going to say, because people think that's not a high amount, but the truth is it can be tough to get there, especially in minor league baseball. It can be tough,
Mhm.
especially if you play in like if that was in, let's say, the Carolina League, it'd be a little tougher because the ballparks in the Carolina League are not necessarily hitter friendly. I went to one of them last season, Atrium Health in Kannapolis, North Carolina. That's not exactly a hitter friendly ballpark, but if you go to Truist, where the Charlotte Knights play, that is a hitter friendly ballpark. But I don't know. Again, I'm just spitballing here. Maybe if he becomes like now I'm hoping Zach Veen does become a staple in the Rockies outfield. But if he spends some decent amount of time in Albuquerque, who knows? Maybe he has a 25 one or two 25 home run seasons in him down there. Who knows?
I mean, it could happen. Really, when you look at guys, I mean, that's the other thing about it. People don't stop and think about the fact that you really got to be parked in one place for a while in the minors to hold any kind of a record with a team. Like, just because they're the closest team to me, the Amarillo Sod Poodles, AJ Vukovic, who's I believe he's in, I don't know if he's been reassigned to minor league camp or not. He's in the Diamondbacks organization. He was at Reno last year. He was cranking them out of the park in Amarillo for 2 seasons or so, and he still is not the record holder down there. So you got to be somewhere for a while to really make that kind of a mark, like 67 home runs.
I'm sure. I'm not sure everybody will catch this reference. Maybe Crash Davis could give him a run for his money. For those of you who don't know, that's Kevin Costner's character in Butch Bull Durham. If you ever watch the movie, he's a career minor leaguer who ended up setting a couple records in the minor leagues. So again, it doesn't hurt to be a Crash Davis, but at the end of the day, you want to make the big leagues. If anybody else has seen that movie a number of times, he spent 21 days in the majors that were 21 of the best days of his life. So again, you can reach the big leagues, but it's just as tough to reach the big leagues as it is to stay there, because you get injured, you underperform, there's somebody right behind you who will gladly take your spot. And teams are in the business of winning. They'll quickly overturn the roster, whoever gives them the best chance to win. So
yeah,
that's the sad fact of life, but hey, it's professional sports. It's about winning. So anywho, so we'll see. And just a heads up, as we know that today there was, we played the San Francisco Giants. Tomorrow we play the San Diego Padres. And then on Saturday, we have the Kansas City Royals. But don't forget, the spring breakout game is on Saturday as well between us and the Diamondbacks. And then we have I almost said it again, we have just the Athletics on Sunday. And then, of course, we have the 2 exhibition games against the Detroit Tigers on the 23rd and 24th before we open the season on the 27th in Miami, South Florida, against the Miami Marlins. I still like to call them sometimes the Florida Marlins because I thought that was a better thing for them.
And that game with the Giants, because of the heat in Arizona today, that game is actually just in the top of the first right now.
I know, I'm looking at it right now. That's a lot. Thank you for pointing that out to me, because I'm looking top of first. I go, wait a second. Then I remember, yes, there was the heat index warning down in Arizona. It's crazy, but that's the dry desert heat for you sometimes.
It was 90 degrees here today. This has been a very warm spring everywhere.
It's kind of one of the reasons I'm glad I don't live in Arizona. I don't mind there's pros and cons, but one of the cons can be when the heat gets hot, it can get really hot like this. And that's when you crank up the AC in your house.
Got that electric bill.
But there are several other reasons, particularly my wife would not agree with us to move, one of which is she doesn't want to see scorpions in the house. And so that, of course, is conducive to Arizona. So no. I wouldn't care. Eventually I'd deal with it, but she would not. So yeah. Anywho, so let's move on. So anyway, so keep in mind, we do open the season, as I mentioned, with a 3-game set against the Miami Marlins. That is not this weekend, next weekend, followed by a 3-game set in Toronto with the Blue Jays. That's quite a travel. You start in Miami, then you go up across the northern border to Toronto. And then, of course, a reminder, the home opener, we have a home back-to-back double series. The home opener is, April 3rd against, what, sorry?
It's April 3rd, my birthday.
Well, there you go. Remember, everybody, we're going to wish Sarah happy birthday on opening day too. And you're going, right? Aren't you? Or you
I
gonna try to
know we're
go?
going to the game on the 4th. I'm not sure if we're actually going to go to the game on the 3rd, but we'll see.
Well, that's a giveaway day. It's the jersey sweatshirt giveaway day.
Yeah, and I got free tickets. So
So you can't complain.
yeah, going for free. We'll celebrate my birthday on the 4th. It's fine.
Well, we got a little pre-birthday wish for you, Sarah. Our viewer
Thanks,
yours, Tom.
Tom.
Happy pre-birthday. Not this Tom, the Tom that's watching. Happy pre-birthday from him. So there you go. So your birthday wishes have already started, Sarah.
I'll take it.
Well, again, but anyway, just to go back to real quick, of course, the 3-game series, April 3rd, 4th, and 5th against the Philadelphia Phillies. And then we have a 3-game series against the Houston Nationals at home before we have back on the road for 6 games against the Padres and 7 games, excuse me, Padres and Astros. So it's crazy. We're almost here. It's running down. So again, as we head into the final couple of spring training games and get closer to the season, there are going to be a few more roster cuts coming our way. The roster is starting to take shape. I think we know, of course, the players that will be part of the opening day roster, but there are guys on the bubble. With the RJ Pettit injury, because I think I had him in the bullpen. Sarah, did you have him in the pen to start? So
Yeah,
this throws a bit of a wrench into our plans if we were, of course, Paul DePodesta or making the baseball decisions. I don't know. Is there anybody you think specifically that is really just on that bubble and who you think is like a definite, nope, this person's not coming up on opening day? If you had to,
I don't know. It's kind of rough because I forgot about Senzatella when I did my prediction and didn't even put him out there, and obviously he will be there. So, I mean, that does open the spot that you guys didn't give Zach Agnos that I did. But really, I don't see any, because you're not going to bring Tanner Gordon up and put him in the bullpen. I just don't know. I just don't know that there's anybody that I really feel just really impressed me too much. Maybe Sean Sullivan.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me because, well, I mean, the plan. I think I did have Senzatella as my long man, and I think they made the move to send down Tanner Gordon but after the Pettit injury was known. So I think they made that move knowing he was also going to be gone. I think that's what the timeline shows here. But I don't know. I mean, we know well, I'm trying to think. Well, ultimately, I got to say, I don't think Julian makes the opening day roster. And with the injury, I don't think Blaine Crim is even going to be ready for opening day because an oblique is not something you just bounce back from right away. He's going to start the season in the minor leagues. So, like as you pointed out at the top of the show, I think, again, I think Troy Johnston stands a pretty good chance to be there on opening day. But I think all signs do point to TJ Rumfield getting that opening day nod at first base. I think he's going to be I think he's going to be the starter.
Yeah, I think so too.
Well, I mean, also, do we think? I mean, again, spitballing here. Do we think? I think Braxton Fulford's done enough to nail down that backup catcher. I mean, or do we think Brett Sullivan stands a chance or no?
There for a minute, I thought he might, but if you've noticed the lineup the last couple of weeks and Braxton's performance, he started out a little bit shaky, but I think he has solidly earned that backup spot now. So I think Brett Sullivan will likely be in the minors. But I mean, it's good to know he's down there because if something happens to Braxton or Hunter, that's a solid replacement. So.
Well, and the next thing I think we've talked about this because when we did our predictions for the bullpen, there was just a lot of arms to choose from because it's like kind of throwing stuff at a wall and seeing what sticks here. Because as Tom here points out, our pitching situation could be very, very bad. But then he talks about demoting, trying to wrap your head around the fact sending all these pitchers with under 2 ERA in spring training AAA. Well, again, Tom, as we talked about just a little bit ago, even if you have a sub 2 ERA in spring training, doesn't mean you're ready to face major league hitters on a daily basis. And it's not to make light of their performances or their improvements that they made. It's just that spring training is performing well in spring training is very different, and it is not in any way an indicator as how you're going to perform in the season. But back to the idea, there's just so many arms to choose from. I mean, we know the top four is going to be Freeland. Again, no particular order. We know Freeland's going to start opening day. Then you work Lorenzen, Sugano, and Quintana. That's 4 spots in rotation. And then that 5th spot is just basically, you could probably just turn with your back to all those eligible guys, just throw something in the air, and whoever catches it, okay, you're the 5th starter. I mean, that's how I see it. There's really no one guy who, in my view, who could just take it and run with it.
I really felt like, and I know Tom is specifically talking about Tanner Gordon. That was the guy, just with what we've seen, that was the guy that I thought was going to get it. But I think it's most likely and it was my prediction, even though I really struggled with deciding between the two of them, it was my prediction that it was going to be Chase. And I still think it is, even though Tanner Gordon really had me swaying there for a while.
Mm-hmm. It's just, I mean, the only other, we didn't one of us, I think, didn't Chris pick McKay Brown, or did one? I don't think it was me. Did any of us pick him or no? We all had.
I was really interested in McKay Brown, but he's hurt. So.
Oh, well, nobody had Gabriel Hughes. None of us had Sean Sullivan. I don't think any of us picked Ryan Feltner to even make the opening day roster. It's just,
I didn't. I definitely didn't.
It would honestly, you know what? This would be, and I'm trying to stay positive here. It would be just such a Rockies, using that phrase, a Rockies thing, to just make Antonio Senzatella the opening day 5th starter. It'd be such a Rockies move.
I know that is really, with that new pitch they've got him working on, I know that that's really what they're wanting to do. I mean, they're paying him so much. That's what they want him to do. But and you're right, it would be very Rockies, but now we've got a whole new Rockies organization to deal with. So I know that's what they're wanting, but I think it would be a terrible mistake to make Senzatella the 5th starter over Chase, really, even though Chase he started out pretty solid. He's been struggling a little bit his last couple of appearances, but again, this is where they're working on stuff, and could see a completely different side of him once that season gets going.
Well, this is the last year of Senzatella's contract. He has a team option for next year, which I don't see that getting picked up.
No,
they're going to buy him out, and I think one of us said this, maybe may have been me. They're just trying to get whatever quality baseball. It's like or Brad Pitt tells, where Billy Bean tells David Justice, I'm trying to milk the last ounce of baseball that I can. That's exactly what they're trying to do to Antonio Senzatella. Mm-hmm. They're just trying to get every last bit of, air quotes, good baseball they can out of the guy. And then when the time comes, they're going to buy him out. They're not renewing that option.
No.
And then, of course, when you go to the bullpen, again, it was a crowded group, but with Pettit out, I think that opens the door for Agnos, and maybe Luis Peralta comes out of the minors and exit. I don't know. We know that Halverson, Bodnik, Herget, Hill, Mejia are going to be there on opening day. We know that for a fact. I guess with Pettit's injury, this opens the door for Agnos to definitely nail down another spot, I guess you could say.
With everything Warren has said about Agnos, he's in.
And then Bernardino is one lefty. But then if you do that, you've only got one lefty. I don't know if Luis Peralta makes that spot. And of course, you bring up Sean Sullivan. I mean, am I wrong to think he could be a reliever? Or because I think we had this discussion where I think most likely he was going to be seen as a reliever. I could be wrong. I don't know what their plan is. I'm not sure exactly what their long-term plan is for him.
I know we discussed that with Carson Palmquist, but I don't know what their plan for Sean Sullivan is either. But I mean, I don't think it would be a bad thing if he were a reliever. But I have seen a lot of, it looks like Bernardino will be the only lefty in the bullpen.
So with that being said, then you have, of course, 2 lefties in the rotation in Quintana and Freeland. So that means 3 lefties in total, prediction-wise, that we're thinking here on the opening day pitching staff. So I guess we have a lot of chatter here going on in the comment section about Chase Dollander. I think we all said he's going to probably start in Albuquerque. I mean, unless you're hearing something different, I don't know. I think in some ways they rushed him. He was good on the road, as Uncle Ted points out, but again, that doesn't mean he's definitely ready for a full-time gig up here in the big leagues because he did struggle quite mightily at times last year.
I was really torn between whether it was going to be him or whether it was going to be Tanner. And with Tanner being sent down, I feel pretty certain that Chase will be up opening day. He's still got a few things to work on, but I like what I've seen. I just it's still not as consistent as it needs to be.
I agree. And when you're not consistent in the big leagues and you make too many mistakes, hitters will crush you. A lot of hits by big leaguers come off of mistakes. You may get lucky once in a while, but you make too many mistakes, you're not going to last long in the big leagues. Mm-hmm. Oh boy. It's just crazy how time is flying by. And then it's just, and as they round things out, and we round things out with the infield, they don't have him officially, but like we said, Brumfield is going to be the starting first baseman. I think Willie Castro is going to be the second baseman. You got Tovar at short, and then I think Kyle Karros rounds it out at third base. I think we've had discussions about this. I think he's warranted enough to earn an opening day nod at first base. And then you got a crowded outfield, but the infield seemingly looks pretty set.
Yeah. Of course, you've got Julian as a utility guy. You've got Troy Johnston. Tyler Freeman can get some reps in there at second if needed. And then, of course, you have Ryan Ritter, who I think has definitely earned himself a roster spot with his performance. And they've been able to do a lot with him versatility-wise, too, putting him in the outfield some. And he's performed well out there. So I think you've got your utility guys set. You've got your infield set. The outfield is it is crowded, but I think we're probably looking at McCarthy, Beck, and Doyle starting out the season in the outfield with, I feel like I saw earlier, Ted said trade Mickey. No, Ted, no. No.
It's not happening.
No.
Especially when you got
Mickey's not getting traded.
Especially when you got a couple years left of control.
Yeah, and he is. I feel like Mickey is primarily going to be our DH. He will get some outfield action, of course, if Doyle needs a day off. Mickey's going to be out in center, but I really see Mickey as our primary DH.
I agree, and because he can. I mean, you mentioned he plays center field. He can't play center field anymore. He was drafted as a utility outfielder, but he's just not meant to play the outfield every day more. If anything, he's going to play the corner outfield. And right now, Jordan Beck is, in my view, going to be the starting left fielder.
I don't know. They've been putting Beck out and right a lot.
Again, I could be wrong, but I don't know. Maybe it's just maybe I'm just so set on the fact that he was the primarily
left field. Yeah. And that's what we all thought. Everybody was like, well, Jordan Beck's your left fielder. That's all there is to it. And then he has spent most of spring training over in right. And Jake McCarthy's actually been out. Like before Zach got hurt, it was McCarthy and Veen in left field primarily, which I'm not mad about that either. Jordan's great in right field. And I wouldn't be mad to see that at all if they put McCarthy in left and Jordan in right. I think those two can really easily be flip-flopped to either position. But I really like our outfield. Well, there's a lot of them, but I like them all.
I got a feeling that the ball, I just had a feeling the ball is going to fly in Miami in that opening series. Not to say people are going to be hitting home runs left and right. It wouldn't surprise me. It would be nice if Bretton Doyle robs a home run in that first series. The walls are not too high out there in Miami. He can leap up there and take one away and take one away from him. Yeah. I mean, who knows? Maybe their newly acquired top prospect Owen Casey puts one to center field, and Bretton Doyle says, "Nope, I'll bring that back. Thank you very much."
You never know. I mean, Doyle can do it all out there. So,
well, I feel again platinum glove season loading. That's my big take on that one.
I would love to see it
because he has two golds. He does not have a platinum yet. No, so
no,
we need to get somebody other than Nolan Arenado with a platinum glove.
And I mean, Tovey could make a pretty good case for it as well.
He has, yep, he does have one win and another nomination. So
Hmm.
who was he? He won. Oh my goodness. I think I still have that picture. Oh, I can't remember who I think it might have been Witt. He and Witt, the year he won the Gold Glove, I think Bobby Witt Jr. won it in the American League alongside of him. And then if I remember correct, I
Maybe.
think so. I remember one. Yeah, I want to say yes. And Doyle, he's got two. So again, I think he's going to make a case for comeback. Brenton Doyle, that is, not Ezekiel Tovar. Well, maybe he could too, but I think Brenton Doyle is going to build the big case for comeback player of the year in the National League. So
And I
again,
would love that for him.
it would just be a huge thing for him. I know he went through, again, we don't need to talk too much about it. He went through a horrible personal tragedy in his life last year. So he's looking to get his career back on track. And especially with Padre fans talking about how much better Jackson Merrill is, well, we'll see.
Yeah. I like Jackson Merrill, but I don't like Jackson Merrill more than I like Brenton Doyle. That's for sure.
Well, my problem is,
if you made me pick, I would put Brenton Doyle in center field every time.
well, it goes back to not this past offseason, the last offseason, when a lot of people were doing their top tens and people had Jackson Merrill and O'Neill Cruz like the 9 and 10, and then they left Brenton Doyle off the list. And this is after he had the great 2024. So
After he won a Gold Glove
and was a front runner for platinum, but I think I can't remember who won it in the national. I have to look it up.
Tatis got it that year.
Was it? Of course.
When he moved out to right field.
Well, it's kind of funny. You take a shorts. Well, it's two examples. O'Neill Cruz and Fernando Tatis Jr. take two shortstops, move them to the outfield, and what do you know? Tatis is a great athlete. O'Neill Cruz is a cannon for an arm. I just don't buy him as a true center fielder. So
no,
that's just me. That's just, again, Pirate fans. I'm not trying to be mean here, but that's just me.
Tom says he was a little worried about Hunter Goodman. Looks like he's figuring it out. Yeah, again, that's where it all goes back to. It's spring training. This is where they're figuring it out. So that's exactly what he was supposed to do, and he did.
Whether I see a guy succeeding or struggling in spring training, I put zero, and I mean zero, stock into that being how they're going to perform during the season. Because, I mean, again, pitchers are trying to shake the rust off their arms, get the timing down, work on sequencing, accuracy, pitch placement. And then when you go to the hitter side, they can only be swinging at pitches that they get inside the zone. The next at bat, they're working pitches outside the zone. Next swing, they'll only swing at pitches that are in a certain spot. They're just getting ready. They're just setting themselves up. They're not, especially for guys who are trying, who know they have, again, I'm not trying to say guys are lazy, but guys who already know they have a spot on the roster, they're just trying to get through the motions and get ready for the long season, where some guys are just trying to do different things outside to make sure they make the roster. But at the end of the day, no matter which boat they're in, they're just, I put zero stock into spring training performance as far as the season goes, whether it's at the big leagues or in the minors.
Yeah, I would agree.
But again, it's crazy that we're just about a week away from a new season, and hopefully, maybe we can definitely get below the threshold of 100 losses. We finished in the 90s or the 80s. Again, 80s is a push, but if we get to the 90s, that'd be nice.
I think it's going to happen. I obviously from my prediction last week, I'm banking on it. So,
I mean, the last thing we got to talk about here is thinking about closer by committee. My money's still on Vodnik. Sarah, didn't you have Seth Halverson?
I think it will be Vodnik, but I wouldn't mind seeing Halverson in that role. I kind of feel like your first couple of weeks, you might see closer by committee while they sort out exactly what's going to happen. But the other name that I also really think makes himself a very strong case is Zach Agnos. He has been nails in spring training. And again, you don't want to put a lot of stock into what's happening in spring training, but he was off to such a hot start last season before his grandfather passed away. And that just really derailed him 100%. And he looks to be back and locked in. So I'm really, those three guys, kind of a toss up to me. The only thing that keeps me from really saying yes to Seth Halverson in that role, I see Seth more as an eighth inning guy, really.
Mhm.
The only thing that really keeps me from saying yes to Seth Halverson in a closer role is he can get a little wild. That 104-mile-an-hour gas every now and then just creeps away on him, and I think you need a guy that, as much as you love to see that gas coming in the ninth inning, you got to make sure that control is there too. Which is why I feel like Zach and Victor make a much better case for themselves in that role.
Mm. Especially the high release point that he has.
Yeah.
So, anywho, all right. Well, with that being said, we shall see what the final roster cuts come down to at the end as the season comes near. Again, the Rockies have 40 players in Major League Spring Training. That'll be cut down to 26 by the time opening day comes. I think they should have it done by the end of the weekend. So when they go to the exhibition games in Detroit, they'll have the 26-man roster. So real quick, also, as you know, MLB The Show is debuting. It's 26 is year 26. And just looking at some of the Rockies player ratings, some of them are understandable. Some of them are a little low. Just to give you guys the top 10 in case you haven't, Bretton Doyle is number one, is actually tied for first with Hunter Goodman at 83. Ezekiel Tovar is third with 77. Michael Lorenzen is fourth at 75. Mickey Moniak is tied with Lorenzen for fourth at 75. Willie Casher 74. Sugano is 73. Jordan Beck is 72. Jose Quintana is 72 as well. And Jimmy Herget rounds out the top 10 at 71. A little bit of an interesting thing. I said this in the pre-show meeting. The ratings people just do not like Kyle Freeland anymore. He's at 68. And Victor Vodek, they don't like him. He's 67. So anyway, Sarah, what do you think about that? Personally, in my one comment, I said this on social media, I'm surprised Bretton Doyle has a potential of a C. I think it should still be a B, but that's just me.
Yeah. And like I said, I thought they were going to rate Mickey a little bit higher than they did, but that's fine. It's just a video game.
Well, it's like they say.
Sometimes I have to remind myself, it's just a video game. Don't get mad. It's just a video game.
Well, it's funny when they run those simulations using MLB The Show. This team will finish and win the World Series. This team will finish last. This team will lose 100 games. This team will do this. Those are never right.
No.
It's fun to watch those and funny to look at some of the end results. But yeah, it's a video game. So yeah, it's a video game. And looking at just some of the players that are right here, I don't see any. Actually, it's crazy. I just looked at this. Zach Agnos, they have him with the potential of a D. They don't really give him any love.
Ew.
He's rated 53.
I definitely disagree with that.
Well, I think we can all understand why they gave Antonio Senzatella a rating of 52. So,
well, yeah, that one checks out.
He's fallen off grace with a lot of people, including the video game raters. So, but looking at this year, I don't see anybody with the potential of an A, which is kind of mean. Actually, sorry, Hunter Goodman has the potential of an A, but it's kind of mean that you don't give any credit to any of our other top guys like Chase Dollander.
Yeah, I can kind of see why Chase's struggles at Coors Field. I can see why he got, why they rated him the way they did and why they put his potential where it is. But at the same time, I'm like, come on now, like we can do better than that.
He's a top college. He's still a top prospect. It's just because he struggled in his first cup of coffee in the big leagues doesn't mean he's going to be that bad. So, but again, it's a video game. I'd like to have some of the guys on and say, hey, what do you guys think of your ratings at MLB The Show? Next interview, I should think we should have asked Troy Johnson, what do you think of your rating? Do you play as yourself?
Oh, he would have broken it down. Can you? We would have gotten like a 15-minute discourse from Troy Johnson on his rating in MLB The Show. I'm sure of it.
I don't even see. Oh yeah, he is 64 with a potential of a C.
I would love to know what he thinks of that.
Maybe we'll get the opportunity to ask him.
That'd be great.
Yeah, but whatever. It's video game ratings. What can we say?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I know. Uncle Ted, you're right. Ratings are more correct than projections. We'll see. I don't know. Some are good, some are bad. We'll just have to wait and see how they go as far as that goes. So it's a video game. obviously with the Rockies having as bad a season they were last year, they weren't going to be too kind to us this year. Even you make a front office overhaul or you bring a lot of different, the roster looks very different. So, anywho, so as we wrap up on the show here, reminder, we are not sure if we'll be doing a episode between now and the start of the season. We will be doing our open day live stream, so be sure you tune in for that on either X or YouTube. And we also be simulcasting on Discord and on Instagram, I believe, as well. So be sure, again, we're getting close, guys. We're almost there. And of course, I think at some point we will give our final projections. Oh, remember, we did give our division predictions, so be sure to check out both X and Instagram to see who put where. A lot of you already did comment on that, so
oh yeah,
we're just predicting it. Whether we're right or wrong, we'll have to wait and see. We have 162 games to figure out whether we were right or wrong.
Some people were, I could feel the sarcasm in some of the comments about my prediction, and others were like, hey, I really like that. And I was like,
well,
just bring it on. It's okay.
No matter what, you're going to get likes, agreements, disagreements, hate.
I thought I was going to get a lot more hate than what I did.
Well, maybe I don't know. Maybe everyone shares your optimism. Who knows?
We'll see.
Well, again. Okay, well, everybody, that is going to do it for this episode of the Rockies Now podcast. Please be sure, if you do not follow us on social media, follow us on Instagram, X, Threads, and of course our new Discord channel. Be sure you hit the subscribe button on YouTube for more content and episodes as they are released. And also be sure, if you don't want to listen to see the video version of the shows, be sure to subscribe to us, follow us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. I am Tom. That is my co-host Sarah. We will see you guys next time. And as always, go Rockies.